Greetings, my name is Monty Martin.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin.
And we are the Dungeon Dudes. Welcome to our channel where we discuss everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for Dungeon Masters and guides for players.
We upload new videos every Thursday, so please subscribe to our channel so that you never miss an episode.
I've been using miniatures in my D&D campaigns since I started playing. I got into D&D through tabletop wargaming, and so for me, miniatures are as much a part of the game as dice, pens, papers, and all the creativity and role-playing that goes into playing the game itself.
For me, one of the most important things is finding a great miniature to represent my player character at the table. I will spend hours going through boxes of minis trying to find the one that looks and feels the most how I imagine my character. But depending on the class and race combination you pick, it can be pretty hard to find some of the more interesting and unique options.
Yeah, if you're looking for a miniature for your elf ranger or your human paladin or your old man looking human wizard, you've got a lot of options out there. But if there's something unique about your character, maybe there's special equipment that they use, or you're choosing a non-standard race or class combination, you can be really out of luck with finding that miniature. And most of all, your character is a truly unique creation of your own imagination. And I think that having a truly unique miniature for that character is a big part of expressing them in play.
And that's where we introduce our friends at Hero Forge, who allow you to design custom miniatures for your player characters at your game table.
Hero Forge has sponsored this review today, but we've been longtime fans of their work, and we're really excited to dive in the process for how you can use Hero Forge to make the perfect miniature for your next Dungeons & Dragons character. We're going to hop online, use their character creator, order some miniatures, get them sent to us, paint them right up, and show you what the results look like so that you can choose the perfect miniature for your next character.
Full disclosure, Hero Forge has sponsored this video and have sent us several of the miniatures we will be showcasing. Monty and myself are longtime fans of Hero Forge and are very excited to share with you all of the cool options available. We will be giving our honest opinions on Hero Forge and the miniatures that they provide.
With that, let's get rolling. What makes Hero Forge really unique is that we're going to be able to use their web-based 3D character builder to design our miniature, which we're then going to order, receive, and put it together and paint it ourselves. So let's hop online, take a look at the Hero Forge website, and start designing some cool characters.
As we jump into the website, it's amazing to see the amount of different options that we have on this website for different races, different class features that you might be able to integrate into your character. They have so many things, and they're continually adding more and more options for all the different ways that you can manipulate and change your character, the different poses, the different accessories and items and gear and clothing. It's such a vast array of options that it's really hard to not find what you're looking for. You can usually find pretty much everything that you can imagine to throw onto your character and make that perfect custom miniature.
Hero Forge has options for basically every race in the core rules, and in fact, there's options here for many of the expanded rules as well, with options for catfolk, half demons, half dragons, and even turtle people and more.
So you get so many options even just for the face or the expression. There's so many things in here that you can change the way that they look, the way that their facial features are reacting. You can have them be surprised or shocked or angry or aggressive. And you have all of these fun ways to manipulate and change even just the facial expression of your character.
Yeah, I think that's really unique because a lot of miniatures you don't get these options in here for what your character really looks like. In fact, we can go in here and look at their body and change even their body measurements, change the size of their head, their weight, their posture, and how much muscle or build there is to them, how tall they are. So you really get to configure exactly what your character looks like by going into the option for their body, changing even what their torso is. If you want to have a skeletal torso, if you want to put in wings on the back of your character, you can do that too. And we can really make something quite silly if we wanted to as well, or something pretty serious.
And now we get to gear, where you can choose what they're going to be holding in their hands or on their sides or back or otherwise. This actually has a large list of options. It's not just swords and shields and spears and bows. You can do things like add in various different types of shields or various different types of crossbow. You can have one-handed or two-handed. You can even put in their hands things like beer mugs and different accessories, which can really help capture the mood and feeling of your character.
If your character isn't someone that carries weapons, you can even put in things like spell effects for a fireball effect or a magic hand or magic missiles or smoke rising up out of their hands as well.
In terms of their gear, you can also throw things on their back or over their eyes. There's lots of different options for places that you can place these different accessories.
You can even decide to put your character on a mount so that you have a mounted and unmounted version of that character.
And don't forget, we also have base options so that you can add little accessories to the base as well. So you can add items such as a familiar or a stack of books or potions or various other things that can actually help complement and add that little extra flair to your character.
Once you've equipped your character and designed them, it's now time to actually choose a custom pose for them. So Hero Forge has a bunch of options for a bunch of fun poses that we can start off with. Dynamic ones like action shots of your character jumping around, firing their weapon, or even approaching friends peacefully.
But then, when you get to the advanced options, this is where it really breaks free. If you find a pose that you like, but you wish you could just tweak it a little bit, you can with the advanced pose options, choosing what part of the body you'd like to manipulate, and then just moving it around to fit exactly how you imagine your character posing. This can be really freeing and a lot of fun to just manipulate in different ways and try to find the coolest way that you can make your character look.
I have spent so much time building the perfect pose for my characters. You can grab their torso, their head, their neck, their arms, and even go right back onto the cape that you gave for your character and change the way it's waving around even on their back. And this also allows you to kind of adjust for some of the really fiddly bits of the character elements so that they're not clipping off of each other, and really refine the way your character is designed on there and get this really dynamic look that looks like your character is like jumping down from up above. You can even reverse the grip on the way that they're holding their weapons and change which way the weapon is twisted so that you can get this really dramatic sort of look out of the character.
Once you're done designing the character, you can then save the character, give it a name, and you can have as many of these saved as you want under your account. So you can end up with a large array of characters. I use this website to design even characters that I've only considered playing. I have probably about 20 to 30 different character designs saved under my account on the website.
Yeah, I've used this even to design possible miniatures for my non-player characters that I haven't even played yet. I've thought about what miniature I might want to get for them, and I have had a lot of fun just imagining the sort of characters that you can create. In fact, it's a great source of inspiration for building your character.
So now that you've finished designing your perfect character, it's time to order them. And there's a number of different options for the materials that you can order them in.
When you decide to purchase your Hero Forge miniature, you can choose to have it printed in plastic, premium plastic, steel, or bronze. Or if you have your own 3D printer at home, you can opt to download the STL files and print it yourself. In terms of the Hero Forge materials, I personally recommend the premium plastic. It is a little bit more expensive than the basic plastic, but the detail and durability that you get from the premium plastic, I think, makes a really big difference over the baseline plastic.
If you want to be really fancy about your player character, you can print it in steel or bronze, although that does come at a pretty premium price.
The steel figures are extremely durable, but they do give up a little bit of the detail compared to the premium plastic.
The bronze option are very, very detailed and very fancy, and they'll look good even if you never paint them.
Once again, my personal recommendation is the premium plastic. I've ordered most of my Hero Forge miniatures this way, and I've been really, really happy with the detail and the results.
The premium plastic miniatures do retail at $29.99, so that is probably going to be the most you've ever spent on a single character mini. However, with the customized options and the unique options that you have to create your mini, this is a one-of-a-kind miniature that's going to last with you for the entire campaign, unless your character dies. But it is worth it for me to put that amount of effort in and pay that money to have a miniature that is mine, it is my own, It is my precious.
I wouldn't necessarily choose Hero Forge as a dungeon master looking to populate my dungeons and get lots of monsters and non-player characters. I would probably look at pre-painted miniatures or other options where I can get lots of miniatures for a cheaper price. But Hero Forge is the perfect way to get something special for your next player character or the ultimate villain of your campaign. Not too bad. Shipping to Canada only took a couple weeks. Let's crack them open. For you. So they come wrapped in bubble wrap, so that keeps them nice and protected. And these are our ones that we got in premium plastic. So again, the Hero Forge miniatures are a little bit larger than a lot of the pre-painted miniatures that you might expect. I think I would consider this a 32 millimeter heroic scale. So looking at the miniatures themselves, like, I really like how dramatic and bold all the details on them turn out to be once they've actually been printed out.
Yeah, there are a few little bits that you could remove or fine tune, like a little bit of plastic ends to kind of fine off. But generally speaking, the detail is incredible. And the pose and the style is exactly what I saw when I designed the character on the website.
Yeah, I think that one of the things with a 3D printing process is that you get a couple bits of flash from the supports that are printed with them. Those supports get cut off before the miniature is sent to you. So unlike a cast miniature, a Hero Forge miniature doesn't have mold lines on it, but it still has the little bits of flash from the support struts. So I'm going to take these and I am going to need to clean them up. But I think overall it's a lot less cleaning than I would have to do for a cast miniature. Once you've got your Hero Forge miniatures, obviously they come unpainted, so you do need to paint them yourself. I do recommend once you get them, wash them off thoroughly and let them dry before using a primer over top of the miniature. The premium plastic ones do not come pre-primed, but the base plastic ones actually do, so you can paint them right out of the box if you want to.
So these here are the minis that we have for Dungeons of Drakkenheim, our live play D&D campaign, which we have already painted up and have been using for some time.
I think we've had these ones for over a year, and I dropped them. I've had pieces of Dwarven Forge fall on top of them.
I have rolled a metal dice on Sebastian's head, and he's survived.
We have had one Hero Forge miniature break on us, but that was a pretty serious fall, I think. So beyond that, I think the durability on these figures is absolutely incredible, and they really do hold up even after a year of weekly use on the table.
Absolutely.
So for myself, I'm a pretty middle-of-the-road painter. I'm a hobbyist. I'm not a professional painter by any means, but I really enjoy painting the Hero Forge miniatures. I find that the Hero Forge figures have very exaggerated details, which makes it easy to paint and to find where the lines on the miniature are. Unlike a lot of other figures that might be cast out of resin that can sometimes have extremely tiny details that feel like I need a microscopic brush to actually get in there.
I find that the design of the characters leans more towards that of comic book heroes or graphic novels, where they're a little bit exaggerated and larger than life. When you put them on the playmat next to other miniatures, they may stand out as a little bit larger than the rest of them, but I find that that's actually okay for the player characters to feel more heroic and feel more powerful and even have their minis play off like they are those comic book heroes.
The heroic scale of the Hero Forge miniatures means that they have slightly larger weapons, heads, and facial features than you would expect from a miniature that has a more realistic body proportion. But this makes them look really great at the tabletop, and they stand out from quite a far distance away, especially when they're painted.
There are endless options and combinations that you can find on the Hero Forge website to design your player characters, and it feels like they're adding new features and new options every day. Every time I go on there, I find something that wasn't on there the last time, and I just end up creating a new character to try out those new options.
For us, we love nothing more than kicking off a brand new campaign by ordering a brand new set of player characters from Hero Forge. And for those of you that want a great gift, there's little better than you can do for a D&D player than memorializing their favorite character with a Hero Forge miniature.
If you want to start designing your unique, one-of-a-kind player character mini, head on over to heroforge.com and start designing now.
Be sure to use the discount code DungeonDudes to save $5 off your first physical miniature ordered.
We'll have all the links in the description below.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time
in the dungeon.